Ooh, there I am. Fuck me, it's been a long time. Sorry guys. I'm going to show you something. This is 20 hours of unedited footage that is sitting right in front of me, and I cannot be fucked ever editing this shit. I will zip through it on the timeline, so you will see stills. If I stop and I think, well, that was interesting, maybe I'll listen to what that fucking guy has to say, I'll stop and we can watch some of it, but shit, I don't want to edit this. So I'm just gonna OBS, which is basically screen record the whole computer, including the editing program, Adobe Premiere Pro 2024. But I'm not sitting through 20 hours of raw footage and editing through that. That's too much fucking boring shit that I can't be bothered. And I hate, just looking at bits and pieces of it, I fucking hate how ugly I am. And so it's like, oh God, that's so fucking scary. So, yeah, I'm just gonna screen record it. And then I'll have released a video, and then all of that shit, which was all queued up, preventing me from releasing any new videos, will be done. And I won't have to worry about it anymore. Maybe someday aliens will dig through the rubble and find the full versions of this shit and go, ooh, cool, ugly man with no hair. But otherwise it'll never be seen. Do you think if I get married one day, we'll all care about each other's lives to the extent that we'll want to watch and read through every single diary the other partner has ever written? Some guy I read about today is onto his 7th wife. It's not just like this was the reason. It's just like one of the murder victims in the Bondi stabbing in the massacre. I used to live in Bondi. Some fucking asshole from Queensland came down to New South Wales and went around stabbing people to death, including a baby, multiple times. He got shot by a cop. He's gone. Anyway, I was looking into some of the victims. One of the girls, who happened to be a bit hot or whatever, I thought, her name sounds familiar. And it ended up being John Singleton's daughter. And I'd heard the name John Singleton. He's some kind of entrepreneur who's famous in Australia. And this was one of his 3 daughters from his 6th wife. So that's what brought me into asking these questions. It's fucking ridiculous. I don't know if I mentioned it in a previous video, but my mum, it has leukemia, but she's able to talk. She went through a period of not being able to talk, and now she can. She was up today, out of bed, which was great. And we're just going to find out this week if she's gone into remission when she gets a biopsy from her pelvis using an aspiration needle. I don't really understand if they need a hammer to knock that needle in to the pelvic bone to get the biopsy out of the marrow, you know. So I think you can just stick a needle through bone, can you? Anyway, yeah. So that's the most hectic shit that's, I don't know. She seems fine at this stage. And so does my cousin's wife, who had cancer as well. She's fine. Obviously, cancer is obviously often leading to death, which is, you know, that'd be the end of me. My mum died. She's the main person. She's the only person. Like, this 18 hours of footage, yeah, she wouldn't watch it, of course. 20 hours of footage, maybe. Probably, yeah, it's more than 20 hours of footage. She wouldn't sit there and watch it. But she does watch some of my videos here. Probably not all of it, because fucking, who listens to somebody talk for this long? You'd have to be a fucking moron. But she does care somewhat about me. And when I was little, she cared about me entirely. She would have watched all of this shit, going, look at him, I love him so much. Oh my God, he fills my soul with pleasure. Not anymore, I'm more like a, you know, she's already had a son years ago, and now I'm over here. Anyway, let's skim through the shit. My mum's fine at the moment, so that's great. And I'm just gonna take you through this shit, just quickly. So then I can start telling you about what I'm trying to do to get a new type of hair piece built so I can mass produce it. So it's better than all the shitty fucking trolley with the V-loops that have fucking dark doll hair knots in them. Because that will not stand. But I prefer the slimy shit on my hair. Fuck. Alright, this is one of the hardest things I've ever fucking done. I'm trying to grout this wall, but everything's been sliding off, and okay, so this is the situation. There's this black dude in the smoking area of Revolver nightclub down in the smoking area. I went there after an event with a guy who was sick of lining up for toilets, and he bailed. But I'm thinking, fuck, I don't want to come all this way and not have drugs. So I went down there looking for ecstasy or MDMA or whatever. And this big black dude says, he's got a hat on. They've always got a hat, by the way, if you're looking for them. And he said the ATM's upstairs. The ATM was out of order. I went to the plug room, and these dudes were like, no, if you leave, you gotta pay to get back in. I said, fuck that shit, man. Your ATM's out of order. How am I supposed to buy drugs in this motherfucker? And they said, all right. Here's your little stamp out, you got 10 minutes. And then I went down to the bouncer. He said, go across the road. You want cigarettes, you want some money, get cash out. Go across the road just over there at the smoking tobacconist who's open at the same hours as we are. Their ATM was down, so they can't give us money for drugs. So I had to walk down the street and eventually found a touchscreen that didn't work properly, but got the money. Got $100 in my pocket, cash. I want maybe 4 for that. $30 each. What does that equal? 4 times 30. 120. They'll give me 3. In which case, I should probably go to the Subway and get something to eat. The thing is though, if I take MDMA, I will not be hungry. So, probably a good weight loss drug actually. I'm telling you right now, it's not deliberate.
And you're allowed.
I just returned from a music festival. I look like shit. Haven't had a shower in 3 days. I've been in the river a few times. Okay, so you saw I just cut the front hairline off. Okay, it's been a few minutes. What time did I start? About 6. So I finished the instructions. Neutralized with the shampoo. What do we got here? We got Christmas Day 2023. We got a little cone here. We got the little Lola. We got the Mr. Jack over there. And now, what do you want me to play with? Hey, my name's Jerry. Please don't throw me. The Jack over here. Lola. It's the 2nd of January, 2024. A couple of hot air balloons over there in the sky, if you can see that. And a couple of horsies. 3 horsies, some cows. not very interesting animals here, which would be over there somewhere, because my car is out of fuel. Whoa. It's like I'm underwater, now I'm above the water. These new glasses, much stronger than the last. The clarity is insane. I can see everything. Right now, you're an absolute blur. I just bumped into my housemate and he said, "What'd you have for Christmas? Turkey, ham?" I said, "No, I'm vegetarian." He said, "You're a vegetarian? Look at you." I said, I thought I'd lost some weight. Well, I guess I still look very fat. I keep forgetting how fat I am. It's just that I'm not bloated to the point of, oh my God, I can't move like I was earlier, like just last year. Happy New Year. I'm just outside the eye clinic and they're going to talk to me about LASIK. That it's not being bleached at the base properly. But if I compare that to what I get from poly, which bends off in all directions. See how this flows that way? I trust that it would flow from the back of my scalp nicely, whereas this one, it just wants to stick up. It's maybe because it's been cut too short, but I just think the V-lips are forcing it upwards too high. So you get those lines all through, right? All right, don't have my glasses with me, which is a problem. I'll get them in a second. Okay. That bit seems to be stuck successfully there. I need my glasses to see exactly what's going on. Here, not so much. Here. Most of that's good. And that probably needs to be pulled out. Okay. Hopefully you're still recording. In the future, next time when I put this on, I think I will really get an understanding of where the hairline should begin and place the glue exactly, then put the front down, then the back. And because Lace can be stretched and shrunk and moved into position properly. Find the perimeter nicely with some leeway, time to squish it into position. That way the front will be set exactly. I'll put the front down first and then lay the back down and make sure the perimeter is set. That will save a heap of time and mess. But yeah, front hairline with the bleaching is totally it's totally seamless, isn't it? It looks like it's just growing out of my head. So I need to master lace because poly cannot achieve this. It can't achieve it with a perfect looking front hairline, and it certainly can't achieve it back here at the perimeter. The problems with lace are that it gets dirt along the glue line up here. Seriously. Must be a good adhesive test, won't it? Jeez, you can't smile at this. It wants to, the stickers just want to pop off. I had no fucking idea that this is what I was getting myself into when I agreed to a home sleep study. I'm in the service station. This is so much better. Back to living in my van again. This is my last morsel of food. What was that? Oh no, I couldn't possibly. I haven't got anything else to eat. What was that? My camera's sideways. Oh, sorry. How's that? Better, okay. You still want this, do you? Even though it's my last bit of food? Come on. Alright then. Don't keep knocking. You got that whole loaf as well. Just got these new everyday glasses, multifocals from OPSM. I guess it's my new identity. Oh yeah, the eyebrows. I seriously sweat for at least an hour after every shower. An hour after every shower. Okay. I just hope that 9 is the right, see I don't remember what length my eyebrows are meant to be. So I'll cut out 3 of these, just standard set stencils. By the way, here's a sample of the excess skin without any hair on it. This is hopefully the blonde won't have this problem with hairlines, because this is best we can achieve right now. The fucking dye went all over the floor, dripped all over here. Totally fucked. Okay, so let's give myself a haircut. I don't hear that phrase very often. I actually worked for Camp America with some disabled children and so on. And I wasn't quite sure how the paralyzed kid with MS was going to participate in the archery. I'm shit at archery as well anyway. Always miss. You gotta pop a balloon, and it's like fucking floomp, floomp, floomp. The balloon's just like, fuck you. And I'm like, fuck. Die balloon. And I was like, why is this kid in a wheelchair wanting to do this? I mean, it's one of the activities on the agenda, but he vicariously did it through me. So I would kind of, I don't know, just be beside him so he could look down the barrel and give him participation, and I'd say up or down, and you know, let him decide a little bit how to aim it for me. Should I lower my hand a little bit, or is that in a good spot? I keep missing, so what am I going to do? So we were a team in that way. So with you, I guess we're a team, because I wouldn't want to do this without you, and I'm glad you're here. I sometimes want to do it without you though, because you make my workload higher. They use a heat gun to bend these glasses so they hook around my ears a bit more. Also, they bent the nose downwards so it wasn't conforming, because before the glasses were there and the arms were, you know, just wanting to thump. They were going to thump off my face, and they just always kept on falling off. Double bleached the motherfucker. This is much better than usual. I can see it's a bit blonde, but it's still, it's bled into the brown. Make sure there is no exposed base with what we see, those corn lines. Cut that shit off, but don't make it too straight. Now I will give myself a haircut. It's about 6:30 on a Saturday. Stuff is called The Conditioner by Paul Mitchell. It's been in my cupboard for ages.
Let's now compare a normal injected hair system against a lift injected hair system. You can see that a normal injected hair system has longer roots, the hair lies flat, and you can't change the hair direction easily. On the other hand, with a lift injected hair system, it has short roots, there's more of a natural lift so it doesn't lay flat on the base, and you can change the hair direction easily. You can also apply single reverse split knots and single flat knots to a skin base. If they are applied, then you will have to brush a layer of poly on the underside to seal the hair. This kind of design is really durable.
I'm in the hotel at my stepniece's wedding. This is the default direction that the hair's come out. I just put this on. It's always good to have a brush back look if you want to minimize the overall floppiness of the hairpiece, but you just have to position it nicely and make sure that the front roots are bleached and everything. And hopefully it lasts several days. It's harder in this place because that's the mirror I used. It would be hard to film, and I had to put my camera light here up on the bench so that I could see my own reflection. Very hard. This other room is just, look at the lighting. It's not as good, so I have to have a shower. The shower water, the heat only lasts 5 minutes, so that's you might think, well, it's fucking 300 seconds. You can do it in that time. I guess if I brush my teeth separately, I could. I always brush my teeth, floss my teeth, wipe my tongue down with a baby wipe, and then there's the washing of my body and hair. That could be done in less than 300 seconds, I guess. But not the teeth. So I'll go do that now. I was hoping to go to the gym, but it's just closed. It's 9 o'clock. Maybe I should need to join a 24-hour gym and stop worrying about the swimming pool I never use. It's not like it's a big environment where I can sit down at the cafe or something. It's just a swimming pool and there's nowhere to sit, ever, anywhere. Can you imagine how boring that would have been if I'd just shown you all of that 12 hours and some fucking nonsense? I'm so sorry for all the shitty videos I've released over the years, sort of. Yeah, I am, but I'm sorry. Fuck, that's hectic. I'm so glad I did that. Wow, how cathartic. Just get rid of it. I mean, I didn't really get rid of it. I'm still gonna make you watch what I just showed you, but. So, I'm in discussions with New Times Hair, and I'm trying to convince them to stitch a poly hair piece, and then what they do is they seal the V-loops on the bottom, right, by painting on poly. I said, before you do that, bleach the roots, rinse the roots, then seal it. Not hard. I'm paying extra, right? I'm paying for custom experimentation at the factory because I want to get rid of those corner lines in poly, which are ridiculous. I saw some of that footage just before with the lace, and it does look convincing. The thing with lace, what you'd want to do, if you could solve this problem, it would be pretty bloody good, because lace blends perfectly with the perimeter. It's breathable. It looks realistic at the front hairline, as long as you make sure that the knots are bleached. But the problem is getting the glue exact at the front. What I'd love to be able to do is just haphazardly just put glue all over the forehead, stick the lace down, and then put something over that glue, some kind of makeup or something that would stop the glue from being sticky, and then the glue simply becomes part of your forehead, but it doesn't gather fucking huge amounts of dirt, whatever. but it would still be kind of visible in a lot of lighting conditions. But it could blend, the glue could, if you just like left some glue with some kind of sticky residual thing, but pasted some powdery stuff that just makes it like makeup or something. If that was possible, then lace would be the answer. But because lace is such a pain in the ass with the front hairline in terms of the dirt and the unstickiness and the trying to get it accurate, it's fucking impossible. Which is why poly, which you just paint on the surface right over the front and just slap it down, it's exact, wins, unfortunately, because the roots are so bad with poly. And when I say poly, I didn't really look into it enough, to be honest. I've tried injected knots before and they were just forced in one direction and they were it still looked fake, it looked awful. But lifted injected knots looks like it has potential, but I think that has to be 0.1 millimeter. That's 0.10 as opposed to 0.03, which most of us who wear poly currently use. And then I've got it on the hair. My first ever 0.02 hairpiece is right here in this box behind me. I should make that as a separate video. The next custom order I've got is going to be 0.02 as well, but they might cancel it because it looks like they're not going to bleach the underside. They said we can take brown hair, dye, bleach an inch, well that's an inch, right? And then thread it, and then hopefully they'll aim it so that it'll blend, you know, the blonde will not be just abrupt, it'll blend, which was my original idea. But then I thought, well, once it's flipped over, before you paste on that stuff, why don't you just bleach all of that, those little notches? Not only will that become completely blonde and invisible, but it should bleed down into the roots a little bit so that it looks like it's, you know, blonde colored coming out of the scalp. This is really for people with white skin, because you don't really need that. You don't want the lines. If you I've spoken about skin tone in relation to invisibility of roots before. Unless you've got really dark skin, you probably still can see the doll hair effect of having lines in terms of the way poly is just so neatly. Now they could stitch it more haphazardly like nature. I don't know if they could do that well, I don't know. Because the thing about V-loops is, they're sewing like this and then pulling or pushing or whatever it is they do all in one direction until they get to the crown, I guess, and then going out in those directions. But they're forcing all the hairs to have this hair there and this hair there, right? So now we've got that, plus the one behind it, plus the one behind that, so that's just a big long line of bullshit that looks fake. Even if you did bleach that tiny little bit under there underneath by flipping it, I have to trust the company to do some experiments for me. I can't go to China. I could, maybe, but it's just fucking expensive, and I don't know if they'd even still do it. If I got there, I'd go in there and start managing shit and get a translator, do all this. I could if I forked out big bucks to them, right, obviously, because then who wouldn't accept money in exchange for goods and services? Everybody would, if they're a business, right? Well, some people don't, do they? They're fixed in their ways, and they say, no, this is the way we do it. We can sell you this or nothing. So it's better that I do it through WhatsApp. I just hope they really do it. The 1 inch idea could work if they make sure that because 1 inch equals only half an inch coming out each side, right? That's 2.5 divided, it's 1.1, it's so it's 2.5 centimeters is 1 inch. So 1.25 centimeters is how much blonde would come out of each thing, of each V-loop, sticking upwards. Tiny bit concealed under, but negligible. And the negligible part is what I was thinking of bleaching, but really there's still going to be that lined up. So maybe that's the roots we need to worry about. The 1 inch idea might be more successful. But they really need to get their shit right and it doesn't sound like they're willing to do many experiments. I said, have you made some samples for me? And they're mostly unresponsive at this point, even though they were very excited to speak to me initially. But I guess I don't want to upset the whole conveyor belt of process, so I have to convince them, because otherwise it's either this or lace. And then looking at that footage of me in that shopping center where you could see I could see the fucking bald patch on the back of my head. How bad is it really? That looked fucking atrocious. Plus, of course, my body looked like a fat, weird stranger, didn't it? It didn't suit my face at that time. Of course, with an iPhone, it's a tiny lens and it's having to gather all of this. So, you know, if you use a proper, you know, 25mm lens or something, which I never do, a human being looks better. Right? But I'm using a front-facing camera on my iPhone 11 right now. Okay, tell me how bad this is. It's shocking. Giving you multiple lighting angles there. Because really, this leaf thing and having to deal with the, you know, incorporation with my natural bio hair, the perimeter, is always a problem. And I have always intended that as this thins, I will make a big hairpiece. I didn't really want to have to try to figure out how to shave this all out, though, because fuck knows how you guys do that. Like I've said before, I don't know, you can't, there's no mirror. You'd have to set up something, and it's not something good. You can't travel with whatever contraption I'm talking about unless it's like some sort of fold-out mirror thing that I start mass producing and selling. Some kind of mirror thing. It could hang off a door maybe. It's got to have hooks probably, but you need it in front of the sink. So what is it? Suction cups? I don't know. But then it's going to come back around the back of your head, so you can look forward and see the back of your own head and still have good control, because it's not all warped and backwards and too far away for you to like understand how your hand is while that's well lit, because you're shaving all of that. Because to be honest, that's a lot of fairly good hair in that horseshoe I got. And it's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass to have to shave all that out and get it accurate each time so that the stencil fits exactly. And then I'm a bald motherfucker. I'm a real full-time baldy. I would rather make my hair really short and then stick a hairpiece to the hair. But then if it's that visible, you can see through the poly. But if the hair's long enough, it could conceal it enough maybe. But then I'd want to grow the sides and back a bit longer than just that short. And I don't know if you've ever tried it, but it's fucking shocking when you try to glue down to like long hair. It's just a big freaking mess to get all that glue out at the end, and you're waxing your head basically. So I'm going to continue to work on this company. Not my company, I don't know if I'm ever going to start a company that's selling hair, but if it is fucking awesome, if I do run, you know, good experimentations of a bald man to the level that I have something better than everyone else in the world, why not? I mean, who wouldn't want it? The invisibility of lace in a poly hairpiece, that's the objective. The problem is the breathability is not as good with poly, so it could always be lace that has to win. Unfortunately, the front hairline is the problem, which is why I've often said poly front, lace primary. But then you've got to make sure that that poly at the front does not have freaking corner lines. That's where I'm at. My mum's currently got cancer, but like she's walking around, she's talking again. She's off chemo this week, and then she's gonna have a biopsy to see if she's in remission after her induction month. And we'll see how it goes from there. All the rest of the shit seemed to happen ages ago, and I don't know if it was already in previous videos. I didn't fucking know. It seems to be all splonched together now. a lot of that stuff seems to have taken a very long time. But then again, I've been away from you for a very long time as well. So maybe I have done all those things in that time. So right now I'm in an apartment that is not my main apartment because I'm Airbnb-ing that out. This is another apartment. I was living in my van for a long time, and then I was living in a cubby house that I built in my carport for a long time. And now I'm in this apartment, just trestle tables and a mattress on the floor. Because it's temporary. But that'll be back.